What are my favorite AIP go-to meals? Let's talk about it. Hey health heroes, welcome back to Adamimmune, the channel all about helping you improve your autoimmune health. And today I wanted to talk about something that I probably should have done a long time ago. I got this comment recently. This is from Heaven. Could you do some updated videos on your staples for go-to meals and snacks, please? I'm starting AIP for my HS and I, too, am very cheap, lol, so I need some suggestions. Greatly appreciated. Keep it up, I love your videos. Well, thanks, Heaven. I really appreciate that. I'm going to answer that today, and probably in some pretty good detail. But first, I just want to say that all my meals, you know, they're not like special events, okay? I don't like... Sometimes I plan them, but they're not great occasions, okay? I eat very simple, very minimalistic. These are cheap meals, usually like $2 or $3. Not all your meals have to have, you know, traditional sounding names like spaghetti or ratatouille or sandwich. They can just be foods, okay? You can just put stuff on your plate, and it doesn't have to be something traditional, American standard diet meal, or, you know, this applies anywhere around the world. You know, it doesn't have to be a special meal. You can find most of these on my Instagram. I share there, you know, very regular. So if you want to see what I eat day in and day out, follow me on Instagram. It's just at Adamimmune, so, you know, check it out. Alright, let's get started. This first meal is just a kale and grass-fed beef soup. Surprisingly good. This was September. Okay, so it was just coming into winter, so I eat a lot of different soups and stews and things like that during the fall, winter months. It's very green. It was very delicious. I hate kale, but if you make a sauce, a pesto sauce, or you make a soup out of it, it's actually pretty good. I highly recommend it. This is just tilapia on a salad with some California mix. Tilapia is not my favorite. It's fairly flavorless, but it is cheap, so I'm sure a lot of people do eat this on the regular. I try to eat seafood at least once a week. Now that I'm on to tuna, I eat it, you know, a lot more than that, but it's a good way to get your seafood in. Not as nutrient dense as, say, salmon, but, you know, if you want something different, maybe try that out. This is another strange one. This is going to be kind of a reoccurring thing here. Pineapple and coconut cream kale salad. Honestly, I've had worse. This is kind of a strange mix, and I think people are commenting like, hey, why didn't you just turn it into a smoothie? I don't eat pineapple anymore. I don't tolerate it very good, so I don't do that. But kale and coconut cream, pretty good combination. This I have a lot, actually. You could call this a stir fry, I guess. Grass-fed beef, sweet potato, mushroom, and broccoli. I do add mushrooms into a lot of my meals. I do recommend this as a reintro because I know a lot of people react to this, so just be aware of that. This is really one of my most favorite meals. This is just my kind of comfort food personally. It's just grass-fed beef topped with sweet potato and avocado. I'm pretty sure I put some coconut oil on the sweet potato. I usually do a little bit of sea salt or pink salt, whatever. Like I said, not fancy at all, right? Anybody could do this. Here's another soup. Cauliflower bone broth soup. So apparently I put collagen, cauliflower. I'm sure there's some meat in there as well. Usually I don't make just soup from vegetables. I like that meat base. This looks like it was one of my lunch meals that I took to work with me. So some sort of ground turkey mix with some leafy greens and some sort of starch. And I just wanted to show this one because I used to do this a lot. I used to pack some sort of sweetness in my lunches. This is a pumpkin bar with coconut butter icing that I make from scratch at home. Really good. Maybe I'll come out with a recipe sometime, but yeah, this was good. I don't know what that casserole bake thing is, but it really looks nasty, doesn't it? This was before I stopped eating chicken completely for a while. Looks like it's just got some kale and sweet potato. But yeah, the chicken I stopped for a long time because I reacted to it. I found out recently that I can have it again as long as it's I've actually found the 99% fat-free chicken at Walmart, and I don't have any reaction to that. So again, I've learned that fat triggers me, certain fats from bad sources that transfers in conventional meats. So I can have regular meat, not always grass-fed. I try to eat it as much as I can, but I don't have to always do it as long as it's very lean. And I like wraps a lot. Looks like this is just a grass-fed beef patty with cucumbers, and I made a homemade horseradish mayo. aioli, I don't know, whatever. It's really good. I don't know what kind of, it looks like just leaf lettuce, but yeah, really classic, good. It doesn't look like there's any starch here or very much calories, so I always add fat if I don't have a lot of other things. This might have been something that I ate for dinner because a lunch was more starch heavy. I gotta limit my carbs to 50 grams a day, so that's probably the case there. Really, really delicious. Beef and cabbage is a staple in my weekly meal plan. I eat this quite a bit. I highly recommend it because it is cheap, it is healthy, and very filling. Of course, I put a sweet potato with it. There's probably onions or garlic or something in there, but yeah, really delicious. Looks like we've got another wrap. This time I've got it with some sweet potato chips. I make those, I don't want to say often, but at least once every couple weeks. So it is a staple, and it looks like I made another mayo. This one is just called an onion aioli. I remember some of my friends trying it and saying it was really good, almost like a sour cream, so yeah. Maybe I'll make another recipe for that one too. Classic dish here, coconut beef over broccoli and cauliflower. Fairly simple. You just, fry up some beef and add some coconut cream or coconut milk, and it, maybe even put a little bit of coconut flour in it if you have to thicken it up. You can use other things, different AIP compliant flours, and then just season up real well. Really delicious, just easy. This was really delicious. Another coconut soup. I think the best base for any soup would be coconut cream or coconut milk. No additives, of course. But yeah, another California spring mix or California vegetable mix you can find at Walmart. It's just carrots, broccoli, and cauliflower. This was my Thanksgiving dinner last year. I was pretty proud of it at the time, which is pretty funny. It was one of those chickens you get from Dillon's. I think it's called Simple Truth. It's organic. It was just sea salt added, I think. The problem was I would always flare to these. I don't eat these anymore. Again, it was the fat content. And I just had some sweet potatoes with some coconut butter on them. I thought this was really good for AIP. Then I went on the blogs and looked at other people's Thanksgiving dinners, and they have like all kinds of stuff, and I'm like, whoa, okay. I don't normally eat a lot of stuff anyway, so but yeah, this year I didn't even do anything special. I just well, I guess I did cook that pumpkin pie, and that was special. But other than that, I really didn't. I had normal foods. My family is very chill as well. They didn't even make anything at all. They just ate leftovers. This looks like this one I combined my cabbage, beef and cabbage, with coconut cream. The ingredients were just cabbage, grass-fed beef, coconut cream, olive oil, salt, and I do add pepper sometimes. That is a reintro that I'm fine with. I've never had any issues with black pepper. There are a lot of people that can't tolerate it. Again, like all AIP foods, right? There's always going to be someone that is like, oh, I can't have sweet potato. There are people out there, and I know you'll leave in the comments, oh, I can't have sweet potato. I'm sorry. I'm sorry ahead of time, okay? But yeah, this was really good. God, that looks good. I think I'm going to go make that later maybe, or tomorrow. I'm actually water fasting today. I don't eat every single day. I don't want to say once a week, but at least a couple times a month I'll do a 24-hour water fast, just something real easy. Okay, there's something I should say. I have a coworker that brings me all kinds of different wild meat sometimes. I'm very blessed. The people in my life are very good to me, family, friends, and coworkers. I know how blessed I am to have good people in my life. Anyway, this person brings me duck, goose, deer, just depending on the season. And this was the time where he had some duck, and I braised it. I made a garlic cauliflower puree, which is the best thing in the world. And I cooked it in some of the duck fat as well, or I mixed some duck fat in there, some duck confit. I don't know if that's how you pronounce it. I know you guys will tear me apart for that. Really good. Probably one of the best meals I've ever had. I just seasoned it with some, I think, sea salt and garlic, of course, and basil. Basil, I was really into basil at the time, and it goes really well with duck, so don't forget to use it. It's a really good herb, and I guess there's some carrot sticks in here. Okay, I wanted to show what meals look the next day. You know how everyone puts, fancy looking dishes on Instagram, and then it's like, oh, look at my meal the next day. It looks gross. Well, that's what I did. Sweet potato, the duck, and yeah, they're a lot smaller than they probably looked in the last picture. Is that kale? I don't know. I think it's kale, and with some of the cauliflower puree with some carrot sticks. These filters, I do not know how to use filters properly, and I am not a very good photographer. It looks like actually as time went on, I care less and less, so these pictures are probably going to get worse and worse. This one is a massive grass-fed beef salad. I do this a lot. I just put grass-fed beef on top of lettuce or spring mix. You know, it looks like there's some purple lettuce in there. I love that. Some radicchio. I topped it off with some avocado. I do that a lot. I probably poured some olive oil on top or something. I usually make a sauce. We'll get to that in a minute here. But yeah, this is one of my favorite meals. It's so simple, so nutritious, and it's so filling. It doesn't look like I had a sweet potato in there. It could have been on the bottom though. You never know. Okay, I said I eat seafood at least once a week, and sometimes I actually experiment with different seafoods, and it doesn't always work out that well. This picture doesn't actually look all that bad. This was the worst meal I've ever had in my entire life. I think these are mussels, and they were awful. I think I had a bite of them, and I spit it out. It was so gross. I could not believe people actually eat these. If you like these, I'm sorry. This looks nice. It looks like this was when I was trying to figure out how to make the orange sauce. I still hadn't perfected it yet. I gave it a little fancy design on the side of that. Beef and cabbage. Simple. I wanted to show this one because sometimes I mess up and I forget to cook a meal for the next day, and I have to kind of find something on the fly. Thankfully, it looks like I had my orange sauce in the corner up top left ready to go. I work in a building that is right across from a Dillon's and Kroger brand, and I went and got some on sale mushrooms. I love mushrooms, and an avocado, and a sweet potato, which I just cooked in the microwave. I wrap it up real good. If you put something in the microwave that other people cook in, make sure you wrap it up really well, because it can get cross-contaminated super easily. Trust me. Looks like I didn't have any meat, but you know, I don't eat meat for every single meal as long as I get the protein in that I need for the day. And my minimum amount of protein for the day would be 50 grams. Again, here's another salad. This is with the orange sauce. And guys, that orange sauce is just a base of carrots. It's always got lots of good garlic in it. Sometimes I'll add onion, not always. Olive oil and some sort of I can't talk. Some sort of acidity, some sort of apple cider vinegar or lemon or lime. Here's another stir fry, beef and cabbage with carrots, onion, mushrooms with sweet potato on the side. This one is a beef and cabbage soup. It doesn't look like it's coconut cream base. It looks just water and maybe gelatin or collagen. And I made a carrot puree for the top, almost like a sour cream. People do that, right? I call this my healing soup. Oh Lord. It has turmeric, basil, black pepper, again, a reintro, grass-fed beef, onion, garlic, kale, carrot, collagen, apple cider vinegar, coconut oil, and pink salt. It does look nasty, I know that. It's that color, it's so yellow, but it does actually taste very good, and you know, it's a very good anti-inflammatory boost with all those good ingredients. So you know, if you can tolerate some of those things, I do recommend trying that out. Here is a picture of when my coworker brought me some Canadian goose. I just had some baked sweet potato with it with coconut oil on top, and I made a kale puree. Even though I hate kale, this came out really good. Kale goes with a lot of things, strangely enough, if you make it into something good. Another beef and cabbage dish with avocado on top, and I had a cream sauce underneath. You really couldn't tell, but really, really delicious. This is a turkey and vegetable soup. I put not worth a recipe in the post. It looks like it needed coconut cream, probably more different seasonings, but yeah, sometimes I make something really plain from things I have in the fridge, and it doesn't always come out good, but you know, it's a meal, and like I said, you know, these meals don't have to be events, so you know, I'll still eat them even if they're not great, except if they're mussels. I'm not gonna eat those. I'm sorry. I hate wasting food. Especially meat. You know, it's a living thing, but that's just gross. And I guess they're not sentient anyway, so who cares? This one was actually good though. This was a coconut turkey soup, coconut oil, fried onions, and then blended, then mixed in, cup of coconut cream, cilantro, turmeric, sea salt, lime juice. I put 9 out of 10, so it must have been really good. I put a little bit of lime wedge on. I'm so fancy, right guys? Oh man. I was trying so hard at this time. Notice me. This one is AIP spaghetti, grass-fed beef with broccoli slaw. I do this a lot. It looks like I didn't cook the broccoli slaw in this picture, but I do that a lot now. I at least saute it for a couple minutes. It softens it up, and it gives it a more noodle texture to it. Really good. Again, it's my regular orange sauce recipe. I was I was really perfecting it in this one. Really, it was doing really well. I think this is where I started adding ginger to it. That really knocked it up to where it needed to be. Now I'm just adding orange sauce to everything, apparently. Delicious. Some more goose that my coworker brought me. I caramelized it with some, onions. There's a cauliflower mash on the side with some steamed spinach. Here's some more goose on top of a cauliflower and onion stir fry. It doesn't look too bad. I don't know. I could have cut the goose a little better, I guess. This is another stir fry I made with the goose. I guess I did actually learn how to cut it up right. I put it on top of some cauliflower rice. And I was using coconut aminos back then. I used it just a touch. This is kind of like nachos. I'm gonna call it nachos. It's kind of like a chips and dip though. I could have put the meat on top. I could have done a lot of things, really. But sweet potato chips with grass-fed beef. And what is that dip? Take a guess. Spinach sauce. Really good. 9 out of 10. I put avocado in the spinach sauce. I blended everything together. I like to write down the taste, the carbs, and the cost in the post a lot, so if you're into that, I don't know, maybe that helps people out. It helps me out because on days like this where I like to look back on what I eat, it really helps me out. And again, if I rate it, I'm like, oh, 1 out of 10, not good, but this one, really good. I haven't had that dip in a while though, so I think I'm going to do that again. Avocado with spinach. I'm sure I put some olive oil in there and some different things. Whenever you make a dip, you got to use olive oil or coconut. You got to have some sort of fat, right? Again, the avocado was good for that, but I like mine super creamy. And if you blend stuff with just avocado, it doesn't puree really well. And it's hard to get out of the blender as well. So depending what kind of blender you use. I've broken so many magic bullets. I just bought another one for Black Friday, but I have a couple blenders. I just broke another one recently. But anyway, I go through them. But I'm back to my magic bullet again, so I don't know. I think I'm going to make this week. Maybe I'll post it on my Instagram. Another experimental seafood dish. This is just calamari. I sauteed it in a frying pan. Texture is whatever, but overall, once you get past the freaky legs, it's pretty good. I do remember being freaked out by these. I had to cut them up so you couldn't tell it was legs at first. And I don't know, the little legs, they it's kind of weird, right? AIP chili, 10 out of 10. Can't even tell it's lacking tomato or beans. This one I'm super proud of. Grass-fed beef, cauliflower, broccoli, carrot, onion, garlic, apple cider vinegar, lime juice, cilantro, oregano. Oh my gosh, this is a long list.
1 week later.
Turmeric, coconut aminos. I was using Celtic Grey sea salt at the time. I'm back to pink salt now, but it doesn't matter what you use. I used collagen in it. I like to thicken that up with that. You can use gelatin, whatever. Cooked low and slow. Highly recommend. $2 a bowl. Can't beat that. If you're looking for a good chili, AIP chili, it can't be beat, really. It's really good. There's a lot of AIP chili recipes out there, so use whatever you like. This was on Valentine's Day. AIP dinner for one. This is so sad. Leave a like if you feel sorry for me. Grass-fed beef, looks like onions and mushrooms and maybe a little bit of spinach with avocado. Again, a classic dish that I love. Like I said, I don't always eat meat. If I get my protein in, then I just have vegetables or whatever, or even a snack for dinner. This time I had some sweet potato chips with mushrooms and a broccoli slaw with avocado and a squeeze of orange juice. Okay, another seafood dish. Sometimes you're just in the mood for, a bowl of shrimp. A bowl of shrimp. That's all it was. Tuna steak on cauliflower rice. It looks pretty sad, honestly. Tuna's good, but it's so lean. It's hard to eat without fat. Oh yeah, 5 out of 10. Yeah, okay. Well, it had some good acidity there, but yeah, not enough fat. You need some sort of dip or a sauce if you're gonna have tuna like that. All right, now we're talking. This one's a chowder made with turkey, cauliflower, broccoli, collagen, sea salt, onion, garlic, coconut oil, and turmeric. This actually looks pretty good. It kind of looks like a cheesy broccoli. I like the texture of that. I guess there's not much texture to it, but I'm a big fan of like mash bowls and things like that. This is made with steamed cauliflower, and you puree it, and then you put it in, put your other vegetables in. Really good. And I'm kind of impressed with this one. I know how terrible this looks. This is another tilapia seafood dish. I put it on top of a spinach cauliflower puree. It says tastes better than I thought it would, though honestly, whatever, it's clean fuel. It's hard to go back and look at stuff I've written after a while, but at least I get to laugh at it, right? It says taste 4 out of 10 though. I just put food on a dish, basically all around cauliflower rice, blackberries, radishes. Is that goose or duck? Wild goose. And yeah, I called it an AIP variety platter. Yeah, that about sums it up. Actually, I prefer to eat this way, just kind of eating whole foods and, you know, kind of eating them together to find out what foods taste good together. You know, it's an experimental kind of thing. Maybe it's childish, I don't know, but I really enjoy this. If you've never eaten this way, try it. It's going to take you back to your roots, I promise. Okay, here's a good one. Salmon with a little dandelion green salad I found in my backyard. Don't do that. That is really dumb and dangerous, with weed killers and different, you know, pesticides and stuff. I was trying out some weird stuff at the time, but yeah, I do like to make sashimi from raw salmon. After that, I will fry all of the skin in olive oil until it's really crispy, and it tastes just like pork rinds or anything like that. The skin, really delicious. This is another trick that I learned a while back. You can peel sweet potatoes with just a peeler, and they'll be super thin, and fry them in olive oil. You got to be quick because they fry really quick and they'll burn. And you just, you know, put it on a towel and it'll dry out, and you can put it on top of a salad as kind of a crunchy topping. I don't think I've seen anybody make this. So yeah, sometimes I make chips, sometimes I make, you know, fries or whatever. Sometimes I make a hash from sweet potatoes. They're good if you puree them, bake them, whatever, broil them. But honestly, this is one of the coolest things. Just peel them and fry them, and it makes it look like it's so much more. So this was maybe one small sweet potato, maybe 15 grams of carbs, and it topped the whole salad, and it was filling and really delicious. So definitely try that out sometime. Okay, I do have a special recipe for meatballs, and you can make a meat loaf or a meat patty or a meat bar. This is grass-fed and finished beef, coconut flour, pink Himalayan salt, water, yes, you gotta add a little bit of water in there, sweet potato, ginger, a touch of baking soda, it is AIP compliant, baking powder is not, and apple cider vinegar. I fried it in coconut oil and really delicious. This whole plate was only 25 grams of carbs, protein 90 grams, and price $6. So if you think eating healthy can't be affordable, you're dead wrong, because this was at least 4 meals worth. Basic grass-fed beef, sweet potato, coconut oil, and avocado. This is that hash I was talking about. It's good for breakfast, but I don't really eat breakfast that often because I'm an intermittent faster. Okay, lately I've been eating a lot of tuna, a lot of canned tuna, and I know a lot of people are talking about mercury and whatever. Let me first say that the DHA, the amount of DHA in tuna will actually negate small amounts of mercury, but there's actually way less mercury in canned tuna. The reason for that is, you know, it's a matter of the quality of tuna, okay? So the bigger tuna usually go to make sashimi or sushi. You know, they eat it and they, you know, cut it open into big pieces and sell that in the market. And then the smaller tuna, not greatest quality, will get made into tuna. And the smaller tuna have less mercury. So it's a very, very small amount. Tuna is actually, from a can, very safe as long as you find a good AIP compliant brand. And again, these are just star-kissed, extra virgin olive oil, and sea salt. That's all that's in it, and I love it. And it's like 230 calories per can, 30 grams of protein, which is great. I can add it to any meal. I take it with me. I keep some at work. It's really great for emergencies. So in this dish, I just made a cauliflower rice, sort of like a risotto, right? Made with, which I used to make all the time, made with coconut cream, olive oil, carrot, which I add to a lot of dishes, as you can see, pink salt, ginger, and apple cider vinegar. I made a vegetable stew from slow roasting very lean chicken and carrots with some onions and turnip. Oh, okay. I used turnip, celery, radish in this as well with some apple cider vinegar. Really, really, really delicious. I love roasted carrots. That's probably one of the most delicious things in the world, I think. It's kale week, so I had kale like 3 times this week. This is basically a cauliflower mash bowl. I just put beef on it, kale, and a sweet potato. It's got some onions, different seasonings in it, but really good. I take it to work and it's just easy. It's got everything I needed in it. Here's the last dish, and it's good because it doesn't look that good, I know, but this is basically how a lot of my meals turn out. You know, they're really messy, sloppy, everything's just mixed together. This is kind of a salad, I guess. It is a salad, but it's made with bok choy, thin shredded cabbage, olive oil, turmeric, and honey flavored apple cider vinegar, the one that I showed in the last few videos, coconut cream, AIP seasoning with a little pink salt added. I like a salty salad, AIP compliant black olives, and tuna. So I just kind of mix that all together, make sure the coconut cream gets mixed in real good. It's kind of turns into, with seasoning and the vinegar, it's kind of like a ranch or sour cream. Guys, this was a 10 out of 10. This was really delicious. Less than 5 grams of carbs per meal and under 250. So, you know, if you're wanting a good salad that's healthy and just super delicious, maybe try this one. Okay, well, that is all my staples. That's how I eat. That's not necessarily what I eat every single day. I experiment a lot, as you can tell. I will do videos in the future about desserts, snacks, and all my failed meal experiments. I started out doing this, eating this way, because I was on a weight loss journey and I was looking for remission, and it just kind of stuck. 140 pounds later down, and complete autoimmune remission. It's good reason for me to keep eating this way, right? I do enjoy eating this way, and my minimalistic side really it takes over. It kind of affects all areas of my life, and especially food. And I'm very grateful that I've always been like that. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss any future videos. Thanks for watching. See you next time.